I'm making this video for you so that you can look at it more than once. I realize that there might be a lot of things in here that you haven't done before, so you can rewatch this if you need to. So this video is about formatting your document to making sure that you're checking off all the boxes for the things that you need to do. So I'm going to assume at this point that you have typed your essay. So I've got a 4-paragraph essay, I've got the beginnings of my works cited information at the end, and I've got the necessary information at the top that I need to have for my heading. So the first line you'll notice is the your name, then you have to have my name, then you've got the name of our class, and then you have the date. The date is unusual. It has the number of the day first, then the month, and then the year. You'll notice there are no commas. Then you'll have your title of the essay. Now, I went ahead and I highlighted all the things that you're supposed to highlight in the colors you're supposed to use, and there's a key for this on number 71D, exemplar essay and video, which you obviously know that because that's how you got to this video. So the light blue that I've highlighted are the writing strategies. Hopefully you're using a lot more than just the ones that are highlighted, but you need to highlight the ones that are in the topic sentences and the thesis statement. Now, right now, I have incorrectly highlighted this one because this is not where my thesis statement should go. So I just wanted to point that out to you that while I did use a writing strategy there, actually, since my thesis statement is at the end and my thesis statement is where I'm supposed to demonstrate that I can use a writing strategy, make sure you have it there. The other 2 writing strategies have to be in your topic sentences, although as I said, you can use more. And so you'll notice I've got 3 different writing strategies. This one is a comma with a conjunction independent clauses. This one uses the em dashes, and this one uses the colon with a list after it. As I said, you can use more though. The vocabulary words, which you have to have used 4 or more of those, but 4, and they should be highlighted in green. So you'll see those in the essay. And the transitional phrases or words, those are highlighted in yellow all the way through the essay. And then your paraphrased events, the second example you're supposed to have for each book is highlighted in light pink. And so there's 2 because you're supposed to have one for Long Way Gone and one for Lord of the Flies. I have not put embedded quotations in this sample, and you do not need to highlight embedded quotations. Those stand out because of the quotation marks and the parentheses with the author's name in them. Okay. All right. So now the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to highlight all of the essay. I'm going to use Control-A on my keyboard. I've highlighted all of it. I want to make sure that my line spacing is double spaced. So I go to Format and then line spacing and then double spaced. And then everything's double spaced, except that something weird is happening. There are extra spaces between all these paragraphs. That's because I typed them in when I was typing the essay. Well, I don't want to have those extra spaces, so I have to take them out. So we're going to take that out. We're going to take this out. Take this one out. Go down below. I think there's one right here too. Let's take that out. Yeah, there is. We'll take that one out. And then this one. So now the extra spaces are out. Now, obviously we need to indent our paragraphs. So now that we've double spaced everything, we'll highlight everything again. I want to do 2 things. I want to make sure I indent my paragraphs, and I want to make sure that my spacing really is just double spaced. When you go to line spacing, there's 2 things here that says add space before paragraph and add space after paragraph. We don't want to have extra spaces. You might, for some reason, have them. So to double check, I'm just going to show you. If I add a space before a paragraph, it puts extra space that I do not want. If I go back in and if I add space after the paragraph, again, more space that I don't want. So I'm just going to go back in and I'm going to remove the space before and I'm going to remove the space after. So I just have double spacing. Now, if I do my indents with everything highlighted, it will indent everything. And I don't want to indent everything. I actually only want to indent my body paragraphs. So I'm going to highlight just my body paragraphs. So I'll go all the way down here. And then to do that, right up at the top of the screen, there's a rectangle and a little triangle. And so if I were to move the top one, the rectangle over it, it indents the very first line, which is what I want. So I just move it to the 1/2 inch mark. I've got an inch margin on the left and I've got an inch margin on the right. Okay, so now I've got my indents. The title of the essay should be centered. So I want to highlight the essay and I want to go up here and choose centering. So that's centered. So now that's in pretty good shape. The font is wrong. Right now it's Arial 11. So I'm going to highlight all of it and I want to change my font to Times New Roman. I want to change it to size 12. So that's in good shape. All right, now I want to have a header. Now, how do I know all this? Well, you can know all this too because I have provided it for you on this assignment you looked at. So if you're noticing, there's an example of the heading and the title, an example of an essay with all the parts labeled, and at the top of all the pages, there's a header. So it has words here and then the page number. Okay, so we want to do that on our essay. And so what you do is you can go to Insert and then Headers and Footers, and you want a header. And that way when you want to do is type your last name. This author's last name is Tucker. Then hit the space bar and then do not type the number. Instead go to Insert and then go to Page Numbers. And then we'll choose the one on the right, although it doesn't really matter. We'll just pick that one. And then I want to make sure it's the right font. It's not right now, so we're going to make it Times New Roman and size 12. And then it's supposed to be on the right-hand side, not the left-hand side, so I click on my right align, okay? So because I've done Insert Page Number, I now have a header on the top of all my pages. And if I add pages, it'll keep doing that. Okay? All right, so now I've got the header, I've got the heading, I've got the title, I've got the essay, but what about the works cited? Well, if you remember, because I wanted to make sure it was just straightforward for us and this wasn't a thing we worried about, I already gave you the information that goes after this. So if you go to the directions for the assignment, and let me go grab those. If you go to the directions of the assignment that I gave you and go down to the whoops, excuse me, right there it is, right here above number 1. You want to copy both of these, right? We want Bea's book and William Golding's book. So Control-C copies it. Then I'm going back to my document. Right after this, I'm going to hit Enter. And then I want to hold Control, Shift, and V as in Victor. And if I do that, it'll put it in exactly the right font. Okay, that's Control, Shift, V as in Victor. If I don't do that and just paste it in, it's going to have the wrong font. So let's say it does have the wrong font, which it does. It has the wrong spacing. I can correct that. All I have to do is highlight it. I'm going to, first of all, move my margin to where it goes. Then I'm going to change my font to Times New Roman and size 12. And then, of course, I have to double space it. So you could do all these things, or you could just do Control, sorry, I'm going the wrong thing. Control Shift V as in Victor, and it will automatically do the right font and size for you and double space it. Okay, so now these are the basics. However, we should have a capital C on cited, and this should be on its own page. Now, I see a lot of you doing this. Don't do that, because then when you edit your essay, it's going to move the works cited. Do not just put extra spaces into the document. Okay, instead, what you should do is click right in front of the W in works and go to Insert and then Break and Page Break, and it will automatically put it on its own page, then highlight works cited, and then center it. Okay, and then you've got it on its own page, and the essay has all the pieces and parts where it needs to go. Hope this helps you.